Hey, welcome to Team Dillon. I want to congratulate you on this decision, and as a reward, I have promised you this video called How to Practice. So let's dig right in. Okay, we're going to be covering 3 areas of practicing. Okay, I'm going to explain to you how much time you need to practice. I'm going to explain to you how to slow things down and a recommendation for how to do that, and also I'm going to explain to you how to measure results. So, the first thing you need to know about how much time you need to practice is there really is no set time, okay? The important thing to keep in mind is making sure that all your practice time is mindful practicing, okay? Now, I'm going to talk to you as a musician, so the examples I'm going to give you are musical examples from when I was practicing and my students. However, whatever your field is, these will be easily transferable. So, when you're practicing, make sure that you have everything, you have a practice plan, okay? That way, that keeps you focused. And if you know how much time you want to take or is required for your skill to practice, write that down, literally on a piece of paper, okay? Don't do it in, you can do it in your smartphone or a tablet or whatever, but writing it down, I find is much more effective, okay? So, whatever you need to do, you jot all that stuff down on a piece of paper from the beginning of your practice time to the very end, and that's simply going to keep you very focused and mindful, because a lot of times, let's say when I was practicing, I would start practicing something on trombone, I played trombone, and then all of a sudden I would just start goofing off. And I can't tell you how much, I would probably waste about 15-20 minutes of just goofing off instead of actually staying focused, okay? So, make sure that all the practicing you do is very focused and very mindful. And you know the difference. You can feel the difference, and just keep that in mind. So there's no set amount of time, but if the majority or all of your time is very focused and mindful, okay, you are 100% present, then that will be the most effective use, and that will lead you to the results that you want. Now, how to make this possible? Well, if you've ever heard of Tai Chi, and if you haven't, maybe you've heard of yoga, I learned this method from Tai Chi, okay? In Tai Chi, everything is slowed down. And in fact, I remember when I was learning to train my voice for speaking in public and speaking in video, one of the things that I would do on a regular basis is I would read romance novels, and I would read them very slowly and sensually. I would record myself too, okay? And that way, I was really forcing myself to make sure that everything that I said was very articulated, and I could really get down to the nitty-gritty of exactly what I needed to focus on. And I recorded myself. That's huge. When you record yourself, the recorder doesn't lie, and you will actually hear things that you might not have heard of beforehand, okay? So, going back to Tai Chi. In Tai Chi, as I said, everything you do at first is very slow. And what this does is this allows you to, first of all, get comfortable feeling uncomfortable in this at this very slow rate. Okay? Most people get uncomfortable when they slow things down. However, that gives you the luxury of focusing on one or two parts, 2 aspects, characteristics of whatever it is that you're working on. That way, you're more focused, right? Going back to mindful practicing. You want to make sure that you're always focused. So, as you're practicing at a very slow pace, only focus on the accuracy and the perfection, okay, whatever that means to you, of that one thing, that whatever it is that you're focusing on at the time, okay? When I was using this with my trombone students, I would have them go through the piece of music that they were playing and just focus on the articulations. And this is something that's easily transferable to many things. For example, articulations in music could be like the enunciation when you're talking, if you're a public speaker, okay? or what. So any skill that you're working on, drill something slowly but accurately until you get it perfect at a very slowed rate. Okay? Slow things down until it is at that level of excellence that you require for yourself. Okay? So, once you get up to a level, once you are at that level where it's slow and it's exactly where you want it, then begin to start increasing the rate, okay? Maybe talk faster. If you're a musician, increase the tempo more and more. Stop when you get to a tempo where you're playing airs, slow it down again, and then continue going, okay? And do this for however long you can do it in a mindful way. If you're unfocused and you keep going up and up, you're actually not really training yourself to play at the level of accuracy that is required for your standard of excellence. Okay, whatever that is for you. All right. So as you keep increasing the tempo, you make sure that it's always perfect. Okay, do not allow yourself to go faster than what is accurate. If you do, you're not practicing in a mindful way. So keep that in mind. Pun not intended, but you get the drift. Okay? So, that is the mindful part of it. Now, the next part is all about measuring your results. And I did this back in college where, I'll explain to you, my teacher, what he would do, is he would tell me, okay, Dwight, I want you to outline every part of your practice regimen so that, you start off with your breathing exercises, then you go to your long tones, and he really organized it for me in a way that was very easy to follow, and it allowed me to improve very, very quickly. Later down the road, once you get to know my stuff, I do have a product where I teach you the actual outline of what he taught me, but you know what? That's later down the road, so don't worry about it yet, okay? What's important right now is just that you write everything out that you practice, and then you give yourself some kind of measurable goal, okay? Use math in this, okay? So, first of all, you are writing everything out in the order, in the exact sequence, however much time you want to spend on that, okay? And then, next to it, write a measurable goal. So, let's say, if I'm working on a piece of music, I want to get up to a certain tempo with clean articulations, with proper dynamics, and a great tone. And I'm going to set the metronome marking at a certain tempo, so once I get there, I know that it's there and it's very clear. Remember, when you are measuring your results, you must use math, numbers. Numbers don't lie, okay? And you know what? If you don't get there within that period of time that you wanted to, that's okay. I'll give you an example of weightlifting, which is something that I have gotten into mainly in the past 5-6 months. And every time that I would go to the gym, I would give myself a goal as to how many reps I needed to get to in order to achieve that result. And what was cool about it is that I actually spent really only like 15 or 20 minutes at the gym, but I could see tangible gains. I mean, with weightlifting, it's not, with any artwork, you don't see, results overnight. We all know this, okay? It takes like sometimes, a couple weeks to a month, okay? But measuring myself with that, I noticed gains, and when I would talk to other guys, they didn't measure their results. And they were gaining, but not as efficiently as I was, okay? So what I'm teaching you is going to make your practice sessions efficient. You're going to be effective with how you practice because you're thinking mindfully. And yeah, so those 3 things. So to recap, okay, we have how much time you need to practice, which is really mindful practicing, okay? You want to make sure that you're focused when you're practicing, and that includes, of course, writing out everything that you need to in an order that works for you. Next, slowing things down to as slow as you need to make them go in order for your practice time to be that much more effective and efficient. Okay? And by effective and efficient, I mean effective means that it's working, and efficient means that you're only doing exactly what you need to do to move forward, okay? So, slow things down. If you want to really, if you're extra ambitious, and for some of you who are watching this, you are, okay? For those extra ambitious people, go and take a Tai Chi course. Like literally, I took Tai Chi for 2 months, and it was one of the best investments I ever made in my life, and it transferred to every other part of my life, okay? I highly recommend it, or yoga, if that's your thing too. Some kind of discipline where you slow things down, and you're practicing mindfulness. And finally, measure your results. The people who truly succeed in life measure their results. You really don't know if you're improving or how you're improving or where you're going if you're improving quickly or slowly if you don't measure results. That's math, okay? Use math, all right? So anyway, again, I want to welcome you to the email list to Team Dillon. You're going to be receiving a newsletter every single day from me, usually, well, depending on your time zone, but every single day with a bunch of free tips on how to eliminate stage fright, performance anxiety, but a bunch of other great stuff that, I live this stuff, and so I give it to you in your email box every single day. And you know what? Welcome to the family, and I will see you on the other side. Now also, if you are ready to really begin investing and take your commitment to the next level, look down below where I have a special offer just for you, and go ahead and check it out, and I think you'll really enjoy it. All right? So I'll talk to you later.